Hi, it's Don. Today's post is titled, It Might Be Time to Reevaluate My Previous Unretirement as a Wine Ambassador. If the title doesn't make sense, let me review a little of my history. Back about 18 months ago, I made the decision it was time for me to step away from my position as wine ambassador. That's a fancy way of saying I pour wine at tastings. A dubious hip ailment being my justification for doing so. Then a friend of mine coaxed me into returning. It really didn't take much. I really liked the interaction and the ability to avail wine neophytes with my vast knowledge. Yeah, I have a high opinion of myself. Anyway, in the last week, I've been busy. No, that's an understatement. I've been extremely busy, participating in everything from 2 tastings back to back to 3 straight days of tastings. You might be saying, big whoop, I can do that standing on my head. I'm not sure why you'd want to, but yeah, good for you. Not to once again bemoan my advanced age, it gets a little more difficult to do these things without paying a price at some point. Everything from sore feet and legs that have a hard time bending at the knee. I dropped something at my last event and the rep next to me saw I was having difficulty picking it up and kindly did so. Not wanting to look too feeble, I immediately told him I was about to turn 72, to which a look of shock came over his face. "No way," he exclaimed. "Way," I retorted. For the record, I could have retrieved the item on my own, but there would have been a copious amount of grunting and groaning involved. There can be other, more lingering effects. While I have been blessed with only moderate and occasional back pain, after attending even one event, I can feel a slight twinge in my back get worse. Do 2 events in a row, or as I did this week, 3 events over 3 days, and that twinge becomes outright pain. Fortunately, not enough to debilitate me, but pain nonetheless. My legs become another source of agony. Knees that once carried me on to many a 10K run now are getting back at me for all that pavement pounding. Mind you, on most days I have little to no pain, once again being blessed. But after standing for 3 or 4 hours, they take on a mind of their own and begin to devise their revenge for putting them through all this. It would be befitting to now ask me, why then do all of this? It's all because of love. So you see, my daughter is getting married very soon, and while I have given her my donation to her wedding, I am planning to visit a few days before, thus engaging my preparations and budgeting for said trip. It's the budgeting part that led me to take on all these events to be certain to have the collateral to enjoy myself without worrying. Now, once the nuptials are done, it will be time for me to reevaluate my previous unretirement and look towards healing wounds while getting back to doing so much less and reveling in that quiet, peaceful life called retirement. Okay, so I won't stop everything. I'm not that old. Cheers.